Howdy, folks. Welcome on back to You, Me, and the Movies. And it's time for some more Sequel September.
What's this all about?
Yeah.
A little dance move?
Is that a hint for what we're watching?
No.
I'm being possessed.
Oh, yeah, I've been dreading this one.
The Exorcist III.
Can't wait.
We're skipping up Exorcist II because everybody and their dog told us not to watch it because it's bad.
Yes.
But Exorcist III
It's apparently very scary.
It's very good. It's written by the original author of The Exorcist, and this is the actual, based on the book sequel to The Exorcist. So, get ready.
I love a good possession.
Me too. Are you ready for some more Exorcist?
Nope.
No?
But like, comment, subscribe.
All right.
Come hang out with us for this Exorcist 3.
Yeah, do it. And check out our Patreon link down below for more early access to our videos, fun commentary, access to polls to help us pick what we watch next. Link's down there. Check it out.
Twitter and Instagram. If you know, do it. If you don't, let's watch the movie.
Yeah, let's watch the movie. Let's watch The Exorcist III. Now we're watching the theatrical cut.
Be brave. Be brave.
Because people told us not to watch the director's cut. And also, this is the first time watch for me as well.
Nothing good happens in Washington, D.C. No. Does he look familiar? Maybe not. Oh, the staircase. Someone's living in this house. They didn't burn it to the ground.
Damien.
The priest that died. That's who he was talking about. That picture. Was that picture with Damien?
The priest.
Yeah.
The young priest.
Yeah.
That fell down the stairs.
Right. You're welcome. I'm a fucking beast.
Yeah, I would probably poop myself if I saw Jesus.
Eyes open?
Yeah.
A crucified Jesus that opened his eyes.
Ned Flanders is in this?
Ed Flanders.
His brother.
Same kid? Creepy.
I have dreams of a rose and of falling down a long flight of steps.
I don't think I've ever fallen downstairs in a dream.
We have a missing crew team.
Was it the boy from the dream?
Father, everything's relative.
Is it?
Or maybe not. You know, Father, you mentioned the Damien Karras in your prayer for the dead. Isn't he the one who
Yes.
died in a fall on those steps?
Yes, that's right, Tim. 15 years ago today.
You hear a lot of
Philip, and get lost, will you?
Was he the priest that was saying his final prayer as he laid on the ground dying?
Don't know.
What did you say to him? Jesus loves you. Everyone else thinks you're an asshole. You have a favorite picture? The Fly.
The original or the remake with Jeff Goldblum?
I imagine he means the original.
I tell Ryan that we have nothing to go on in this case. You know what he says to me? Win some, lose some. You're a racist, Ryan. Did you know that?
Oh, you're right. It was the boy from that dream, huh?
I I want you to telex Richmond right away and most urgently for the file on the Gemini killer.
The Gemini killer's been dead for 15 years.
Ryan, Stedman, go home. Go home to your families. Talk about WAPs.
Does WAP mean the same thing then as it does now?
Wet ass pussy.
It fits. I mean, it fits that context.
You're home now.
No, gotta go again. Today's my day to cheer up our friend, Father Dyer.
Oh, they both meet with each other thinking that they're cheering each other up.
Those were the guys that were talking to each other at the very end about movies.
Yeah.
That's a lot of white smoke. Official business. All right, so...
He just flashes his badge and gets into a movie for free.
You want butter on it?
Official business. Give me that popcorn.
The priest looked up to God and said, please forgive me. Like, he was like...
And I wound up a lemon drop chunky. Little weirdos keep breathing it on you along with all that pot, and between the two of them, I've got a feeling it's probably addictive.
My wife's mother is visiting, Father. And Tuesday night she's cooking as a carp. And for 3 days it's been swimming up and down in my bathtub. Up and down. And I hate it. I can't stand the sight of it. I can't go home until the carp is asleep. The whole world.
Larry King. What a weird cameo.
Thomas Kintry. Black boy, about 12 years old. The killer drove an ingot into each of his eyes and cut off his head.
Jesus.
Sounds demonic.
In place of his head was the head from a statue of Christ.
Oh, jeez.
The boy had been crucified on a pair of rowing oars.
Jesus.
May the Lord be in your heart, help you to confess your sins.
The first was that waitress near Candlestick Park. I cut her throat and watched her bleed. All this bleeding.
Somebody kill the priest?
Must have.
Was it that lady in black that was confessing, or?
I don't think so. Oh, chopped his head off too.
Took a finger?
Looks like it. Why the first finger?
It points the way.
Did he try to pew-pew her? Pew-pew! Pew-pew! Should probably have gloves on.
So we have a serial killer?
Looks like it. Demon killer, demon serial killer. Living in the confessional now. I don't know.
We've got an autopsy on the boy.
Motherfucker, that scared me.
He was injected with a drug called succinylcholine. Causes immediate and total paralysis. The kid couldn't move or scream while the killer was nailing and cutting him up.
Jesus.
He died from slow asphyxiation.
Yikes.
So he was sliding that thing back where you think he thinks the priest's finger got cut off by that?
Maybe.
Brother Eddie had these same stupid symptoms for years.
Your brother Eddie died at the age of 30.
With my brother, it was nerves.
You make a lot of people nervous.
Only sinners.
Everybody!
Is everything all right in here, guys?
I brought you a hamburger, Father.
I'm not hungry.
I'm gonna eat half. It's from Clyde's.
Where'd the other half come from?
Space.
They've got good banter.
Mr. Horowitz?
Nope.
This is 409?
411.
Never mind.
Go in peace, my child. May the Schwartz be with you.
He's a movie fan.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Did you not notice that?
So the prints on the oars from the crucified boy match the prints on the panel, correct? Well, aren't they? Two different people committed these murders?
Some demon jumping bodies to kill with medical expertise.
Sounds like it. Something like that.
It was a weird dream.
Come in, please.
Fabio.
Fabio's an angel.
Lieutenant. How you doing, Lieutenant?
I'm so sorry you were murdered, Thomas.
Oh, dang. Patrick Ewing?
I don't think so.
No, Bill. I'm not dreaming.
Patrick Ewing did play for Georgetown. You think Father's dead? Yep.
What are you telling me? Hold it.
Yep. Oh, man. Lost his head. He was his best friend.
That was Patrick Ewing.
Of course it was. I know my 1980s and 90s NBA stars.
He just looked young to me.
No mustache. That's what threw you off.
What are they? What's in them?
Father Dyer's entire blood supply,
Somebody drained him.
and not a drop of it spilled. All neat.
That is weird.
Is that enough blood for the whole body?
I don't think so.
On the wall.
Okay, it wasn't all of his blood.
Most of it. Probably didn't take much blood to write a message. Hey, caramba.
I was inside the office. I was writing up reports.
So if someone had entered Father Dyer's room between the time you left and the time you returned, you might well not have seen them.
That's right.
It's a hell of a lot to get done in an hour.
I don't know, but she's creepy looking to me.
Yeah.
Mrs. Clelia.
You saw Mrs. Clelia walking around?
No, not exactly.
Not exactly.
I found her lying completely unconscious.
When was that?
On my way to give the father his last medication.
Mrs. Clelia is a patient?
Yes, she is.
She killed him.
So that nurse took her to confession. That's the old lady that was wearing black that day.
Yeah.
That's why the nurse looked familiar. I remember seeing her, and she was the lady
Yeah.
back in the
Yep,
waiting
you're
room.
right. He looks creepy too.
They're all harmless.
There she is.
Are you my son?
Some with the devil inside.
You're not my son.
Boy, she's creepy.
I'm the radio repairman, Mrs. Clelia.
Well, fix it.
Well, what's wrong with it?
Dead people talking.
Oh, damn.
Do you see it?
Yes, I see it.
Definitely.
I just knew you weren't really a radio repairman. That's a telephone I'm holding.
What do you need? Okay.
You need to be tucked in?
Let's do it, girlfriend.
I love you. Give me a kiss. Mwah. Good night.
Oh. She's creepy. She also looks very familiar.
To get out.
punch a 4-digit combination. And every day, there's a new combination.
I'd like to look around.
Is there a killer in here?
Perhaps.
Lieutenant. Dr. Friedman's gone.
Who's in this?
I was only 21 when I died.
How old is he now?
On the victim's back, we were told the killer carved out a sign of the zodiac. The Gemini symbol, the twins.
That was 15 years ago.
Go ahead, Lieutenant.
Temple, why are you encouraging this?
Shut your mouth! Excuse me.
No, he deserves it. This guy's being an asshole.
Is the Gemini killer 21? And they electrocuted him?
Probably.
That you heard about is false. The missing finger was not on the victim's left hand.
It's the first.
Not on the victim's back, but on the victim's left-hand palm.
Something that only the Gemini killer would know. Or the homicide department.
The victim's name's always starting with K. Like Carl, his father.
Father Dyer, Joseph Dyer.
Father Dyer's middle name was Kevin.
Kevin.
How is he getting out of that room?
The creepy nurse.
Slade.
Just a shipping tag. Just came in.
A replacement? Where's the old one?
Went missing last week. Weird.
It's your murder weapon.
Mm-hmm. No shit. Oh, jeez, oh, jeez, oh, jeez, oh, jeez. I believe in ghosts. I believe in ghosts, so this is creepy. You're next. You were involved. He was involved in that case. Yeah? So he's next.
Karras starts with a K.
What's his name?
I think it has a K too.
Jesus. The fuck was that statue? This one was starting out a little like a bit of a slow burn. Now it's picking up. Really picking up.
Excuse me. Alice! The speech! Good night, Father!
Canavan had my job back then. He gave Damien permission to investigate the case.
What did the little boy do?
The tape was really English in reverse, but the expert who figured that out was Kendry's mother.
It's all connected.
Why would they have killed the son? Why wouldn't they have just killed the... Oh no. He looks as though he knows what's happening.
That's the priest that did the Exorcist in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Was there anyone else in this room? Who was in here?
That radio isn't mine. Mine is newer.
Oh, damn.
You know, the one you looked in on? You know, the one you looked in on.
You mean the boobies.
15 years ago. They picked him up wandering the C&O Canal.
He's been practicing it.
A speech. Memorizing a speech. So... is it a lie then? He's acting all weird.
And then all of a sudden, he got violent. Really bad news. And as of 2 weeks ago, he's been in isolation, but he says he's the Gemini killer.
What did he see?
I don't know, but now the doctor knows what the Gemini killer's thing is now, right?
I think he's framing him.
Yeah.
The dental records of a Father Damien Karras. Find out if he ever had a saliva test. Might help us get a positive identification.
It's Damien.
Damien's dead, though.
The man in cell 11 is Damien Karras.
It's a wonderful life.
Yeah. Yeah, looks a lot like him.
I am no one. Many.
He wasn't 21, though.
I am the Gemini killer, James Veneman.
The Gemini's dead.
No, not quite. Remember Karen? I killed her. Well, after all, it was inevitable, wasn't it? I also killed the black boy by the river. And the priest.
So this demonic spirit who once lived in the Gemini killer's body jumped into somebody else's.
Yeah.
I mean, is in Damien's body now. No, Damien died.
I was obliged to settle a score on behalf of a friend.
What friend?
A demon friend.
There is suffering over there. They can be cruel.
Who is they?
Never mind.
The demons. And now he jumps into the old ladies' bodies. Yikes.
I do that rather well. I've been taught by the master.
The devil. Oh, God.
Are they calling these Gemini killings in the papers? You must get them to do that, Lieutenant.
The Gemini is dead.
No, I am not! I'm alive! I go on! I breathe! Look at me!
It's different now. The Gemini killer.
If you looked with the eyes of faith.
He doesn't look like Damien anymore.
Oh. It's Brad Dourif.
Do you dance?
What do you mean?
His daughter.
A decapitated head can continue to see for approximately 20 seconds. I always hold it up so that it can see its body. It's a little extra I throw in for no added charge.
God, he's creepy.
No shit, right?
It's too bad about poor Father Dyer. I killed him, you know.
No shit.
Then, a 3-foot catheter threaded directly into the inferior vena cava.
You just hold up the legs and you squeeze the blood manually.
Without spilling one single drop of blood. Now, then, of course, no one notices pearls before...
Uh-oh.
Oh, few boos from the gallery, I see. It's all right.
Does he still see Damien, do you think, or is he seeing this guy?
I'm not sure.
Her beads.
It's Damien again. Oh, damn. That was creepy.
I wonder how much of that was digitally altering his voice, or if Brad Dourif was doing that all himself.
I think it sounded a lot like digital alterations.
Just been this week. I think the first time was Sunday.
And again?
The next day. If you want exact times, it's...
On your chart, yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Any other times?
Between 5 and 6.
Keep that on until the weekend.
You're most kind.
I'm a bitch.
So when he goes unconscious, he's jumping bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Take it easy on that hand.
I will.
Did he just jump into her body?
Save your servant.
Yep. Sure did.
It was different.
Different how?
He sounded decent.
Like a priest?
Only one other thing.
And what was that, miss?
He said, kill it.
Was it Karras' voice that said those?
I imagine.
He's trapped in there?
Mm-hmm.
There hasn't been a murder since they locked down the hospital.
Mm-hmm. But if it can jump bodies, can it jump out of the hospital?
Save your servant who trusts in you, my God. Let him find in you, Lord, a fortified tower.
It's the exorcism.
And Jesus said to the man who was possessed, "What is your name?" And he answered, "Legion, for we are many."
Hmm. Oh, God. Not your daughter? Okay.
Good night, Julie.
Oh, Jiminy. I don't like this. It's that old lady with her radio again.
Or is it a telephone?
Uh-oh, did you get a chill? Is there a chill in the air now? God damn it. Oh, good golly.
Can't I get any sleep? What the hell do you want?
Motherfucker.
What's your name? I'm going to report you.
My name is Amy Keating. Good night.
Amy.
Keating.
Yes, I'm fine.
She just pissed her pants, but she's fine. Gosh. What's happening in 411? Doors locked. Ugh. And she dies.
That kind of looked like the guy.
It's in like a white sheet, I couldn't tell.
Cut open. And all her vital organs were removed.
Well, this is new.
Then the killer stuffed her body with other materials.
You think it's the doctor? Maybe not the doctor.
Dead or paralyzed?
Dead.
Father Karras expelled certain parties from the body of a child. Certain parties were not pleased. And so my friend devised this pretty little scheme as a way of getting back.
The direct eye contact to the camera is really unsettling, right?
He is inside with us! He will never get away! His pain won't end! Oh, gracious me. Was I raving?
God, he's killing this performance. He's scaring the shit out of me.
So I'm thinking he's actually in Karras' body, but when he is the Gemini killer, looks like the killer that they electrocuted. That's why it's Brad Dourif right now.
Right.
It's the smiles that keep us going, don't you think? The little giggles and bits of good cheer. Quite an effort to regenerate his puny little brain cells. It took me 15 years.
So you're saying Karras never got buried?
Right. Right. They robbed his body.
Woke up and...
Yep.
Who gets you out?
Just friends.
His mom? Is his mom one of the old ladies?
I think he's talking about he leaves and demons take him to somebody else.
God, I'm so tired.
Watch out. It's gonna jump into your body.
Child's play, Lieutenant.
Father Morning, please.
Brad Dourif plays Chucky in Child's Play.
I didn't mean it. So you came, did you? Yeah.
They're all in on it.
I mean, he was in there before he was in isolation, right?
Probably.
Old friends.
Motherfucker. It's Radio Lady. Seems normal. No big deal.
Uh-oh.
This old friend.
Stole the nurse's outfit.
Mm-hmm. Please leave this kid alone. Please don't steal this little kid's body.
Get the light.
Mommy! What the hell do you think you're doing? Are you crazy?
Clear invitation to the dance. To the dance. To the dance. To the Julie.
Her daughter, his daughter.
Where? Uh-huh.
Motherfucker.
That was Bill. There's a nurse coming over with a package.
Oh, Jesus.
That wasn't Bill.
Nope.
Bill couldn't get through.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
That must be the nurse.
Oh, God, he's too late. Hustle.
What's this nurse thing?
What nurse?
I'm so tired.
Oh, hi, Stevie. Yeah, how'd it go?
Julie!
Daddy, I'm talking. I'm sorry, Steve, I missed that.
Bill, what kind of a nurse is this?
Not a nurse.
Catatonics are so easy to possess. I wanted you to see this.
God damn it! Grandma's got fucking fast reflexes.
Watch this.
Grandma?
Who called him?
I don't know. Did you see Grandma just rip the girl?
This time you're going to lose.
All of his hair is already white, so...
In the name of the Father, of the Son, right, prayer. Give us this day our daily bread.
Do you think they will save you now as before?
And forgive us our trespasses.
Well, I can pray too.
As we forgive those who
The
trespass.
human hearts that I've taken into hell.
I cast you out, unclean spirit.
It's a lot of snakes.
Sworn enemy of all the human race.
Command you.
Power of Christ compels you. Power of Christ compels you. Power of Christ compels you. Oh, boy.
Really sticky.
Human fly trap. I would get the fuck out of there.
Pray for me, Damien.
You're free.
Did you think to save your friend, the priest?
Help me.
Have I helped your unbelief?
Yes, I believe. I believe in death.
I believe in pain.
You son of a bitch! I believe
In you.
What's he doing with the lightning?
Creating an escape route?
All the people he's killed.
Save your servant who trusts in you.
Priest is still alive.
Fight! You cannot win. He dies.
Picked a bad host.
Now, shoot now! Kill me now!
We won. Bill, now free me.
Kill it?
No, they just got it out of that body.
It's back on the other side now.
Perhaps.
Finally buried him.
Interesting.
Wow.
That was weird. I mean, that was different than I was expecting. I was expecting
murder, mystery, possession.
Yeah, I was expecting Exorcist 1 again, but this was not that at all.
Yeah. There were some awesome performances in this. Brad Dourif and George C. Scott. There at the end, George C. Scott.
Yeah.
He's talking about what he believes in.
Mm-hmm.
Whew.
Yep.
And Father Karras as well when he was there, right? Or we saw him. So, that was really good.
That was very interesting.
Yeah, different
than what I was expecting.
Kind of horror thriller.
It was eerie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it just the way that they had Brad Dourif staring directly into camera.
Yeah.
It just makes you feel so uncomfortable. Yeah. Makes you feel very uncomfortable. So they nailed that.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what they were going for.
Yeah. Did you think this was scarier than The Exorcist? I think you found The Exorcist more disturbing.
Yeah, I think the Exorcist was maybe more disturbing just because it was so fucking gross.
Yeah.
And
sexual.
Yeah, and this one was definitely more eerie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we knew he was jumping bodies,
Mm-hmm.
and we knew it was that one lady he was using because she was at the confession, but it seemed like he was using multiple... Because the radio lady was the one crawling on the ceiling.
She was hopping around, yeah. She's definitely...
I also feel like he jumped into the doctor.
Yeah, I think so.
The nurse, and then killed himself.
Yep.
Right?
I think that's what happened.
So, yeah.
I mean, he had to have been using the doctor for some of those killings because of
he also get the medication.
The medication there, the precision in which the doctor bled the entire body, like that would require a doctor to know where to place a catheter.
Yeah.
A doctor or somebody with extreme knowledge about human anatomy.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yeah. It wouldn't have been that old lady, I can't imagine.
No. Does she even have the strength? I mean, the old lady did it at his house.
I think the spring has the strength itself. It wasn't.
I guess the one he tried to open was the older one.
It's spring loaded so that you pull it open and then it
snaps.
slams closed.
Okay.
So she would just have to have the strength to pull it open. And
You're talking about how the maid that pulled the daughter away, or was it
that was her grandma. That was the grandma. His wife's mom.
Was that his?
The weird fish in the bathtub.
The cod cooker or the
wasn't cod, but something carp.
Carp.
Yeah.
She was the one that pulled her away.
Yeah, that was a creepy looking scene.
Oh.
Because you could see the daughter's head like bedweird, like you could tell it was like a dummy or something that they placed there, but gross.
Almost.
But she just
pulled her away.
Yeah.
I don't think that was the original actors who played the characters in the first Exorcist. Because I know George C. Scott.
Father Dyer looked familiar to me, so I think he was.
I don't think George C. Scott was in the first movie.
He didn't look for that familiar to me, but Father Dyer looked very familiar, so I think he was one of the characters in the original.
Well, I've always liked the Exorcist franchise. I was a big fan of the Exorcist prequels that came out in the mid-2000s. There's 2 different versions of the same script with 2 different directors.
Sounds horrible.
And the same actor playing the main character in both versions. It's kind of interesting.
Great.
So maybe we'll get to those someday.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm good with these 2.
Yeah. Well, what should people comment on with The Exorcist 3?
Better or worse than Exorcist 1?
Now, how does this compare to the original?
Yeah, and
what's the creepiest moment of this?
Yeah, what freaked you out the most?
Eerie moments.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. I only jumped when you jumped because I was like, why are you jumping? It scared me.
I don't know why I jumped it. I was freaked out. I would think I was just anticipating something else and scared myself.
Jumped at a little noise.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out. Like, comment, subscribe if you didn't already. And, gosh, thanks for bearing this with me.
Yeah. And check out our Patreon link down below if you want to help us pick our next movie, or if you want early access, full length commentary, links down below. Check it out. Until next time, have a good one.
Bye.